Thank you, man. Amen. Thank you. Jesus got a word from the Lord, man. Sometimes that I get a word from the Lord, I wait, meditate on it, pray on it, and then I ask the Lord what He want me to say, speak on it. God asking us today, what are you? What are you, or will you be right now in this situation? What are you now? Will you be? God had a purpose and calling for all our lives. He had a calling and purpose for Adam life, man, and Adam stepped out of that, man, and when God came back in the word Genesis, God said, Adam, where are you? Of course, God knew where Adam was at. He was saying, where are you? Like he didn't know where he was at. He was saying, where are you? Because Adam wasn't in position. So, are we in position today? That's why God add things to our life, man, because in this season, He don't see us in position. If He seen us in position, God omnipresent. God already seen this happening. God seen this happening in this corona situation before it happened. He seen it. He seen it happen. And He's so into relationship and so love that He going with us today. He in the present with us now, going through the process. He's seen this happening, but yet and still, God is in the presence in this moment today, going with us. Because in this moment, in this season in life, we missing. Because if we wasn't missing, God would never allow this to happen. This would have never happened. He allowed things to happen in our life, man. Just like Israel, the children of Israel, He allowed Pharaoh, they was in bondage, slavery, and He allowed Pharaoh to keep them, to not let them go. He even hardened Pharaoh's heart, so Pharaoh would not let him go. God allowed persecution to push His people, man. He allowed persecution. It's all in the Bible, man. It's all in your life. It happened to me in my life. I got a major testimony, man. It happened to me in my life. That He allowed persecution to push His people forward, man. You ever know, like in the word, in the Bible, we like sheeps. We like sheeps. And Jesus is our shepherd. And, and real sheeps, like, a pack of herbs, sheeps, whatever. They got shepherds, and when the shepherd wanted to move sheep to one side of the field to another side of the field, because he got one sheep to follow him to move them to a different side of the field. Sometimes shepherds, they have sheepdogs. If you know what sheepdogs be around the sheeps. And for the shepherd to move his sheep to one side of the field, another side of the field, he used sheepdogs. And what the sheepdogs do, they like bark and bite at the sheep's ankle, at their feet, whatever, so the sheep could run to the other side of the field. They use sheepdogs to make the sheep move from one end of the field to another end of the field. So this coronavirus, man, is like a sheepdog to most of our lives. It's like a sheepdog to move you, to push you forward. It ain't supposed to have you in fear. It's to push you forward. God allowed persecution to push you forward. So what are you now? Jeremiah 1:5. Before I form you in your mama womb, in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nation. God speaking to me in that situation. Before He formed you, man, your mama womb, He already sanctified you. He already seen your life. Before He formed you in the womb, He already seen your life. Before He formed you, God already seen where you're supposed to be. God already know the plans that He had for your life. Are you walking in the calling that God has set for your life? Are you in that calling? Are you in that position? Are you walking in that calling? God already sent His word out there. Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word go forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish what I please and shall purpose in the things for which I sent it. So God already sent his word. His word already went forth from his mouth. It's supposed to accomplish. Jesus was the word. God's word was sent out there and did what it's supposed to do. Jesus fulfilled it. Jesus was the word. The word shall not return to God void. God already had a word for your life. It should not return to God void. When you turn back to God, you shouldn't be void. It's like a talent. You know, in the Bible it said that men had talents, that we got all different talents in our life. God gave man 5 talents. He did what he had to do with talent. God gave another man 2 talents. He did what he had to do. He gave one man 1 talent, and he didn't do nothing. And the man with God, you know what I'm saying, was wicked, because he didn't do nothing with that talent. God sent his word forth, and the word, it should not come back to him void. The word void means waste. It means emptiness. It means vanity. It means nothing. God's word should not return to him empty, man. His word should not return to him void. We should not come back to God void. We should fulfill what God has set for our life. So are your life lined up with the word? Are you doing in life now what God had plans for you in your life? Do your life match up with God's word? Do it match up with God? Like Adam and the garden, whatever, right? God already named the animals. So when Adam came, Adam named the animals. God already said that. Before Adam messed up, Adam was in line, in position. He was in line. Are you walking in that calling? Or are you vanity? That's what the void means, empty. Are you vanity? It don't matter how much money you're making. It don't matter if you're having the best time of your life. Do your life line up with the word of God? Do it match what God has set for your life? Are you living in the life that God had planned for you? Evidently, we're not, because this is the position we're in. God's showing his anger, right? He's showing God's vulnerable, man, right now, right? He's a jealous God. You know, like he told Israel, don't go and worship other gods, and they did. And God was angry, and Moses had to plead. Moses pleaded, man, that God won't do nothing. He pleaded for us. God is a jealous God, and he's vulnerable. God laid his heart on his sleeves, man. And in the position now we in, man, that most of us live in vanity, and we're not in that will and that calling of God, right? Because he already had it set. He already seen that. Look in Genesis, man. In Genesis, right? Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light. See, let there be light. Be came first. Let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light, and the light was good. So the light was good. He said, let there be light. He said, be first. Be came first. But it already was light. And God already saw the light. So saw means visit. It's prophetic. God already visited the light. He is the light. He already saw the light. He already saw the light. He saw it. He visited. But it was light, right? But he also said, let this be light. He said, let this be first. But it was light. He already saw the light. He already saw the light. But he said, let's just be light first. The be came first. But then it was light. And he already saw the light. God saw me visit. God already visited the light. He already was there with the light. He visited the light. But he said, let this be light. And it was light. Let this be. And it was. It was. Jesus already was. Revelation 13:8. Lamb is slain for the foundation of the world. Christ died before the foundation of the world. Jesus already was. God already saw. He already visited. But he said, let this be. So we got to be. Go be. Are we being that light? Go be. Are we being that light? Are you being what Jesus already was that God saw? Are we being what Jesus already was? What God saw in our life? Are you being? Are you walking? Let this be light. It was light. God saw the light and it was good. Your life already good. Are you walking? Are we in that B? Are we in that position? Are we walking in that line? You were born. You were born to start something that God already finished. Don't return to God void. You were born to start something that God already finished. So are you being what Jesus was, what God already saw for your life? And this is why we in this position, because in this season right now, there's no worship. There's no worship. We believe in other gods. We serve in other gods. We worship in other things. So God added this thing, man. And people died. And sometimes it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a bad thing that people die. It's very bad. People is heartbroken and they're dealing with this thing right now. But people die. Something got to die. Like Israel, when God was moving Israel along, right? And in the book of Numbers, when he was moving Israel, when he separated Israel, he killed off the fathers. He killed off the fathers. So, you know what I'm saying? So Israel kept going forward. The father been killed off. The flesh had to die off. Flesh got to die so we move forward, man. So a lot of people died. And people are going forward. If you ain't died, you're going forward. It's a calling still on your life. It's a calling that's still on your life. Are you walking in it? Are you being? And this ain't over. Because in this season that God's seen this. He's seen this right here. This happening right now in this season. That people are not worshiping him. People are not walking in that calling and what he's seen in our life already before we was born. He's a jealous God. The testimony that God will send persecution to push you forward. It happened to me, man, when I am. I'm going to tell my testimony one day. No, man, ain't got time, but it happened to me, man. The persecution that was in my life. Through my family, through my mom and father, man. It was devastated. It happened in my life, man. That, you know what I mean, that seeing my mama get murdered and me, and you know, and being mentally abused, you know what I mean, through my father and mama, through my father, you know what I mean, before he killed her. And he allowed that. He sat there and allowed it. That's Genesis 3:12. I'm gonna break that down one day for you. 3:12. When Adam said, God, the woman you gave to me, she gave to me, not ate. The word gave means allow. The word God gave Adam that. He allowed that. It means loud. It means added. It means abandoned. And also means to be healed. God will add things in your life so you could be abandoned with it, so you could be healed. And sometimes that God add things in people's life now, right now. People dealing with this right now that they cannot be healed from. They can't overcome it. Like you got things that happen in your life right now that you are dealing with them right now. You're dealing with it. You can't overcome it. You can't overcome that things happen. Things happen in my life. My mom getting killed. One thing, right, that my mind not dealing with it, right? And the way I walk, it don't show that I've been through that. Cause my life changed. It don't show in my walk I've been through it. But it's deep in my heart. The passion I ask God, why is you got this pain deep in my heart like this? Because he want me to feel how he feel. That pain I go through that God added in my life is to save other people. The pain that I've been through, that I had in my life, is to further the gospel. It's not for me. It's for the life of others. So I deal with the pain for others. Because I don't walk. It don't show my life that I'm dealing with it. And my mind, it don't bother me. But the pain is still deep. Because that pain is how I reach other people. And some people can't overcome it because they're dealing with it. They owning it. They're accepting it. And I pray that we walk in the calling that God has set for our life. Praise God. I pray this word, no negative feedback, touch this word. And I pray that walk in our calling.